Hello and welcome back to South Coast Busways here at the Standard Way Garage in Fareham with Solent Blue, where we have some stuff. I've moved the allocation for the 4 out to the Fratton Garage to make some space there, and we're going to be looking back to the Whiteley Village system. With 2 new routes, both using the 10.9 meter Eclipse 3s. We're going to have the W2, or not W2, W4, from Hedge End Station through Hedge End Village Centre, maybe out the bottom, I don't know, or out straight, probably out straight, through Botley, follow the W1 into Whiteley Village, follow the W1 to the bottom of Swanwick here, and then around Titchfield. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be good. Useful addition to the network and such. And then next is going to be the W5 from terminating stub end at Whiteley Village Cinema, which I'm actually just going to change to be Whiteley Village. There we go. Whiteley Village. And that's going to go up through Kerbridge, join the W3 briefly through here, not W3, W1 and W4 briefly through Botley, or towards Botley, then up this way through this sort of area, up through Horton Heath, Fair Oak, Crowd Hill, Fisher's Pond, this side of Colden Common, then up through Twyford and then into Winchester via the sort of outside of town, so that it doesn't get too busy running in through Winchester. That's the idea anyway. So let's get my route colour from the W1, which we extended, I want to say last time? Did we extend that last week? Oh, I can't remember. YouTube Studio, I'm checking. Yes, we did. That was last week. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the week before last. Last week was when we got into Winchester for the first time. So, let's get the W4 from Hedge End to Titchfield. Again, I've set that up way too early. I do this all the time. Right. The W4 from Hedge End to Titchfield. There we go. Yes, let's get going. Hedge End Station. And post me if you don't mind. And we now have the W4, from Hedge End Station through Hedge End, Botley, Kerbridge, Whiteley Village, Swanwick, Park Gate, to Titchfield. This will be running every half hour during the day and every hour in the evenings, using the short Wright Eclipse 3s that we put on the W1. So I'll get the timetable made, and I'll bring you straight back. And the W4 is now done. So, it runs every half hour from 5:30 till 7, southbound, southbound, 5:05 till 19:35 northbound, during the day, southbound during the evening, 19:35 to 22:35 every hour, and northbound in the evenings there's just two, one at 20:35 and one at 21:35. On Sundays, it does a short service between Whiteley Village and Titchfield, so basically just the southern end of the route, every hour, from 6:05 until 20:35. It's just one bus that goes backwards and forwards. The route takes 29 minutes each way, the way I have it set up, which is a little bit tight, but we'll make it work. And that's going to go from SW. They need a better way of selecting garages, because, you know, we can have big saves with lots of garages now. But anywho, and actually I've just had an idea. I could send the W5 this way, or I could send the W5 this way. I think I'll send it this way, because is there a lot around there? I mean, there isn't really, so, not in game at least. So I'm going to send it here. And then it's going to go this way through Botley. Then it's going to swing in through this estate, through Horton Heath, Fair Oak, Crowd Hill, Fisher's Pond, skirt Colden Common on this side, then up through Twyford, use the dual carriageway to sort of swing around the southern end of Winchester, not pull into the park and ride so that people don't use it as a park and ride bus. I will have Winchester park and ride, I will have P&R services set up, because there's this one and there's this one, so you know that will be adequately served. Just not by the W5. The W5 would absolutely fall to pieces if it had to serve the park and rides. But enough talking about the W5, let's get the W5 actually done. So, hex code is in, W5, Whiteley Village to Winchester. So let's go there. And then we're going to come out this way. Just initially. I don't want so much bus stop, so this is going to be no, this is going to be Glassfield Road, adjacent Whiteley Road. There you go. That's not the right name, but that'll do. And then post me, if you don't mind. And we now have the W5 from Whiteley Village to Winchester. Now, I'm thinking for my Sunday sort of alteration, we don't serve this estate, but at the same time, I can't be bothered. And it would seem a fairly weird thing to do. But yeah, this is the W5. Very, very sort of broadly direct, but then it's got that sort of this estate run. And then it sort of sticks in Botley rather than going along the top. Just to allow us to serve the centre of Botley. So yes, I will get the timetable for this made, and I'll bring you back. And the W5 is now done. So, it runs every half hour during the day, and the last outbound service that is classed as a daytime service is actually the 1803, which is rather early for me for a daytime service to be concluding. I normally finish at 7 or around there. But that's just because this is quite a long route, and I want as little dead running as possible out to Winchester. Because those dead runs would be very long. And for that reason, it finishes very late from Winchester, because I would rather the dead run be from Whiteley Village. Even if that 2315 picks up like 3 people, you know, that's still some revenue. So, you know, that'll go from SW, there we are, later. So those are going to be run with the short B8R Wright Eclipse 3s, because I love those things and I want more excuses to use them, and I have the livery for them already because they're going to go in the Whiteley Village yellow, which I've been told might be green. I don't know. I'm colourblind. I need help with colours. Is it yellow or green? I don't actually care which, it just helps me sort of classify it when I come to standardise the liveries, whether that becomes part of the yellow scheme or the green scheme, whether that becomes a yellow scheme or a green scheme. Helps me give it a number. But I'm inching over here now. Slowly inching over to Ringwood, because I want to plan our next major service, and that is going to be, if I go over to the X37 to get the colour. Of course, it is the standard green that I use on the island as well, so I could have just picked one of those. But this is going to be the X7 from Ringwood to Southampton. It's not going to be part of the Dorset Limited, but it's going to be run by New Forest Greens, out of Ringwood. And it's, you know, it's going to follow the Solent Red 7 out to Lyndhurst, making very few stops along the route of the 7. And then it's going to run all stops-ish out to Ringwood. So this is the X7, Ringwood to Southampton. And we're going to start from Ringwood, backslash n, size equals 75%, small caps, limited stop. There we go. And so we're going to head out of Ringwood. I need to find Burley, because we're going to go through Burley. Burley is here. So we want to come out this way, this way, this way. So we're going to come out heading south, come down through Burley, then Lyndhurst is up this way, yes. Cool. So we're heading out of Ringwood. What happens if I put a stop there? Oh, apparently we can just do that. That's weird. See if we can come down there. We're gonna come down there. Down here. Down here. And then we join this road. And post me, if you don't mind. There is the X7 from Ringwood to Southampton. So, limited stop in every sense of the word. We only make a few stops in Southampton. Then it's out to the central station, Redbridge, Bats Corner in Totton, twice in Ashurst, a few times in Lyndhurst, and then making relatively local stops between Lyndhurst and Ringwood. Just as I said I would. And I'm not even going to do the timetable for this because I don't have a garage in Ringwood and I'm not ready to set one up yet. Because I also want this to wear a new brand for the series. And one that we're going to start seeing pop up. You know, particularly with regard to the Solent Limit. Solent Limited maybe, but Dorset Limited for sure. But I'll leave you to speculate on that until I actually show you what it is. So, now that we have our routes in, let's actually see how many we'll need, how many buses we'll need for them. And then buy those buses. It should be 4 for the W4 and 5 for the W5? But let's have a look. So, 5:30 from Hedge End. Gets back to Hedge End at 7:37, which should do the 7:40. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's 5 for this, so we'll buy 6. And then for the W5, oh yeah, that's fine. 5:03 does the 6:15, which gets back to Whiteley Village at 7:27 to do the 7:33. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, if we buy 12 buses, then hopefully between that and the padding that we put in for the buses on the W1, or the W1's fleet, we should have enough. So we need 12. How many spaces do we have at Standard Way? 11. Love that. Let's wait. So what's happened is I've had to move some buses obviously away from Standard Way to Fratton, which I wanted to do anyway to get the Portsmouth services actually working. But, you know, there's still a few buses that are out, I guess, that need to return to Standard Way. Okay, this was performing really, really well as I was preparing for the episode. What's happened? Is it because I'm recording? Surely not. Because this game isn't a huge CPU drag. It's mostly on RAM that this game struggles, and OBS doesn't use that much RAM. And it's also midnight. So there's like no buses out, relatively speaking. It's a very, very confusing game. It's like, I almost wonder if the reason why every update patch seems to be making performance worse is because the devs have no idea what's making the performance bad in the first place either. Because I have no idea what's making the performance this bad. But it's coming up to 1 AM now. And hopefully... yes, we now have 12 spaces at standard way. And we're now short several VW types. Oh dear. What's actually happened? Which route did I move? Oh, hang on, I moved the 5, didn't I? What is going on? Okay, so if I go to Fratton, and I go over to my VWs, I should see some of these on 4s, right? Right? Okay, first of all, you can go there, like, immediately. Or was it the 5 that I moved? Now I'm actually stumped. Okay, it's performing better now, in this moment. Hitching like mad, but that's just what this game does. So, like, what's going on? What did I do off camera? I've forgotten what I did off camera. This is really bad. But yes, we will get those 12 VWSs added to the Whiteley Village fleet. And we will get the W4 and W5 launched. I might just take a really long jump cut just to figure out what's going on and get the buses done. They're going to be in the same batch as the W1 ones, so nothing special license plate wise, you know. Obviously I'll pop back as I do the last one and say, and finally we have blah 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 blah, but I will see you when I have to say, and finally a bus fleet number. And finally we have WV18 VMA, better known as VWS 272, ready to start service on the new W4 and W5. So, let's head over and get these routes turned on, which I probably also could have done in the jump cut, let's be real, but when do I ever think things through? So, for some reason it always loads us on the Isle of Wight, even though I was at SW Garage, which is in Fareham. Oh well. So let's go over to the new... Actually, I can probably turn on the X2 as well. I think I have enough buses at Bar End for the X2 to be, come online as well. So let's activate the X2, W4 and W5. Every route this episode has a prefix. That's fun, considering I've banned myself from using prefixes on Glasgow. And we are here for the first W4 of ever from Titchfield to Hedge End. This is the 505 from Hedge End, from Titchfield. And it's picking up decent numbers for what is basically a glorified dead run. So I'm quite happy. I'm quite pleased with that. There's no sort of funny event on that would make passenger numbers high, so either it's just that passenger numbers will be good, or that later in the day this bus will become absolutely rammed, which would not be good, because I want to use these small buses on the Whiteley Village runs, because, I don't know, I think it's nice. And it's fitting to run these small buses. And as we get out, it's becoming less busy, and now we're on the bit that we haven't served before, so, I don't know, maybe it will be manageable. And maybe running the Sunday service on the southern end was actually a really good idea. We'll see. And we're just coming down through, or up through Hedge End now. There was a W4 going the other way. That's fun. And now we're waiting at Hedge End for about 20 minutes. And I believe the 54 goes up before we do. Yes. Hopefully there's enough space at Hedge End Station for that to actually happen. Because I've just realised the 54 and the 34 happen sort of while we're waiting. Maybe that's another reason that the W4 should use the small buses that it does. Oh, it's very busy. Oh, it's very busy. Oh, it's very, very busy. Let's see where people get off. But it's remaining busy as we come through Botley. Lots of people off there, okay. And we're coming back down through Curbridge now. And now entering the sort of bit that I call Whiteley Village. Very nice. And there's a W5. Which is going at 7:03, so let's take this up to Winchester, see how well it does. And hopefully the W5 also will relieve the W2, because that uses the really tiny Solo SRs. So, you know, if we can get some relief from those, or for those, that would be nice. Coming down through this sort of new estate area. I don't know what it is. I think it's part of Botley. I don't know. It's just like a random bit of housing. But coming down through there was quite nice. And as we're sort of on the new bit that no one else is serving yet, we won't be the only route down here. But, you know, with time. Yeah, doing well. Yes. Just went through Colden Common. Yes. Commentary. I can do it. It does not help that it's 4 in the morning. That's always fun. So, now we're on the bypass where we just sort of get past the southern end of Winchester so we can come in this side where there's less of Winchester to go through first. And then boom. Boom. Into the bus station. And is there an X2? There's an X2. When is that happening next? That is happening at 8:30. So let's join this X2. And on that note, we'll end the episode. But, you know, before we get there, we're following the X2 down to Southampton. And it is busy and then quiet. That's interesting. I guess not many people want to go to Eastleigh yet. But I imagine it'll be quite busy from Eastleigh down into Southampton. We'll have to see. But this is good coverage. Well, this is good. Wow, it is busy now. Okay. Maybe I can stop worrying. Especially now that we're sort of in this bit. Oh, it's very busy. Oh, it's incredibly busy. And we're full. Oh dear. Maybe the X2 needs to be more frequent. Or maybe it needs to use bigger buses. That's fun. Wow, it's rammed. Lots of people want to go to Southampton Central Station. Very nice. Or Southampton Airport Parkway Station even. Which is very nice to see. And coming down through Portswood. No, that's not Portswood. That's the other one. Swaithling, that's it. And down through Portswood. Very nice. And yeah, just coming in through the top of Southampton, like near St Denis. Isn't that lovely? And then where do we terminate? We terminate at Vincent's Walk, yes. Ooh, that stop on Oxford Street's really busy. And into Vincent's Walk, where that'll go back out at 10:15. What are people waiting for here? The 3. Unfortunately, the 3 is very busy. So yes, there's our new additions to the map, the X2, W4 and W5, which will hopefully do quite well for us. They seem to be right off the bat. So that is going to be fun. We have a new route into Winchester, and we have more of our tiny little baby Wright Eclipse 3s. So I think that's a very nice note to end this on. So I will see you next week from the South Coast. Bye bye.